Well, this is going to be kind of an interesting experience for us because as we're closing down the newsleader, I've explained to a lot of people there's a number of steps that we have to follow, and I want to try to show you exactly the things that we're going through. Also partly to help us go through the closure, but also because I know that the newsleader has become such a big part of people's lives in the community that I didn't want to shut the doors and just disappear. I wanted to kind of bring you all into sort of an experience with us so that we can all share this. So I have Robin Irwin with me, who is the manager of the Princeton Museum, and this, believe it or not, Robin, is all the newsleaders. 948 issues, 949 issues. This is from 1998 with this, the very first issue.
Right.
All right, so we're looking at...
January 6th.
Yeah, January 6th, 1998, the very first issue. This is before I came on stream.
Yeah.
All the way up to my first issue, when I became the owner of the paper, which is February 3rd, 2004, all the way up to every single year that we've done papers. So I wanted to donate these to the museum because I know that it's an important part of the history that you have probably the largest newspaper collection of any museum, I would imagine, in BC. Is that correct?
Short of the Provincial Archives, I think, in Victoria. We've got 116 years now of newspapers going back to 1900, from the days of the Similkameen Star, Princeton Star, when it first fired up, when it was sort of like a two-page almost newsletter. So currently we're up to 2006 in paper copies. We do have some digital versions because things have started to switch over.
Sure.
But this will bring us right up to 2016. So that makes our collection pretty comprehensive. We cover a lot of the valley all the way, the entire regional district from Eastgate to Coston, essentially.
Yep.
And going back in history, of course. So this is going to button up that collection quite nicely. And it just so happens that we have 5 summer students working here this year whose focus primarily is the archives. So we're going to be able to get this stuff nicely packaged away and inventoried in a short amount of time. So this is perfect. Serendipity.
So I understand, and so other people understand that you're going, when you say you digitize these, every single page then gets scanned and then put into a computer file?
Yes, essentially what we would like to do in the future is to be able to have a digital record of every single paper that's ever been printed in the Similkameen Valley. So what some really big museums do, and some, in the United States, the state of California, they've got every single newspaper that's ever been printed in the state is available in an online database. And so essentially what happens is that researchers can go online, they can find a keyword, and they can search through hundreds of thousands of newspapers and find information on their specific subject.
So this would be like valuable for like family history research and just maybe some historic research related to, say, maybe some changes in the community, or for argument's sake, if somebody bought a piece of property that was commercial and they wanted to do some bylaw research or whatever and they couldn't get it from, say, municipal websites, this might give them some background to use?
Absolutely, yeah, all of this information would be available. And I think that the research part is a very important component. But we're also about conservation and preservation. So we want to make sure that none of this stuff crumbles into dust. And once we get it up onto servers and digitized, we don't have to worry about the actual paper degrading.
Right.
Because this information, a paper from 2014 right now might feel like a recyclable. But you think 50 years from now, this information, if it's not digitized, if it's not preserved, it's gone forever, especially in a small community.
And I'm really glad you said that, because that is actually something I've always had in mind in the content when we put our paper together. This is something that I've always thought about as like 50 years, 100 years, 150 years from now. People are going to look back on this, and this particular, whatever happened in the week of June 23rd, 2009, this is a snapshot of the history of this area on that week.
Yeah.
And so I'm always very conscious of the fact that we're, we have an obligation to tell the story correctly.
Yes.
And as accurately as we can, because none of us will be around in the future to explain that, well, no, that was a joke, or that was incorrect, or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
So I've always been very conscious of that, and I think that's part of the integrity that I've really tried to instill into this product. And I'm so proud to be able to give this to you.
Well, we're really proud to be able to keep it, and be able to share it with generations to come, and hopefully get to the point where we've got enough funding and enough support and a large enough server that we can store 116 years of newspapers so that everybody can make use of them forever.
So how can people reach the museum if they so desire to maybe even donate some funding to help with the digitization program?
Well, during the summer months, come and visit us because we've got the most fantastic displays, and it's worth your time just to come in as a visitor. You can also reach us through our website, which is princetonmuseum.org. We have an email address, which is princetonmuseum@gmail.com, and you can always reach us here at our telephone number, 250-295-7588, and we would be happy to talk to anybody who is interested in sending things our way that would help to tell the story of our community.
Excellent. I'm so glad to give you these papers.
Thank you very much. We're proud to have them. Thank
you,
George.
You're most welcome. Thank you.